Good morning, and thank you for tuning in to Mind Readers podcast. Today, India and myself, Maria, will be hosting a discussion on leadership. Then, what is leadership? According to the author Nordhaus, leadership is defined as a process whereby an individual, considered the leader, influences a group of individuals, considered the followers, to achieve a common goal. At its heart, leadership is about human behavior in organizations, what we do, how, and what we do it. The concept of leadership originated in a scientific study from a founding father of sociology, Max Weber. According to Hilbrun, Weber set the questions of authority and status in the context of religion, politics, and the military. He devoted great attention to the unresolved tension between leaders and governments, and he grew convinced that the trend towards rationalization made the role of leaders more problematic and more important now that our actions and opinions are no longer based on religion, but on knowledge and reason. Now, as the world is changing, so the idea of leadership is. In the 18th century, a leader was regarded as a hero, as described by Thomas Carlyle in 1840 with the Great Man theory, and it was believed that a leader was born and not made. We can see the deep roots of this theory present in many of today's practical assumptions about leadership. Iconic figures continue to capture our imagination, whether they be political figures like Abraham Lincoln, scientists like Albert Einstein, or entrepreneurs like Elon Musk, whose leadership style we will see in more depth today. The paradigm shift with the realization that the Great Man theory lacked consistency because the context of the leader was not considered. Moreover, after Stokely's research of 25 years, he concluded that a person doesn't become a leader by birth or by the possession of personality traits. Then, leadership research shifted away from personality traits towards behaviors. Since the 90s, research in leadership have been focused on the relationship between the leaders and their followers, emphasizing the importance of communication, motivation, and intellectual stimulation. Now that an overview of leadership concept has been illustrated, let's look into more current leadership styles. For example, entrepreneurship leadership. What is this new leadership approach? India, can you tell us?
Yes. Hello, everybody. Entrepreneurship leadership is a new and modern type of leadership that combines leadership qualities such as intelligence, self-confidence, determination, integrity, sociability, and the spirit of entrepreneurship. According to Yomas and Sunbo, it refers to managers or leaders who take risks, seize opportunities, and pursue innovation by creating new products, processes, and expansion opportunities in existing businesses.
Right, interesting. So is Elon Musk a good example of this leadership style?
Yes, Elon Musk is recognized for being an innovator, visionary, and entrepreneur. He developed a new concept for space travel with the goal of reducing the cost of aerospace manufacturing and space transportation services by founding SpaceX. SpaceX is a company that is now introducing the concept of space tourism to the public. Elon Musk's trajectory helps us apply the concepts of this entrepreneurship leadership into a real-life example.
Right, so how can we identify an entrepreneur leader?
An entrepreneur leader must have certain characteristics according to Cover and Sullivan. For example, an entrepreneur leader should have supporting skills. They are leaders that support the development of entrepreneurial behaviors. Elon Musk is not an easy figure to analyze. For example, this year he has both been named the most inspiring leader in the tech industry, but he has also fallen from Glassdoor's ranking of the top 100 CEOs, which is based on employee feedback that some state that Elon has a great vision and he thrives to change the way humanity lives, which is brilliant. However, some employees, which we may call as followers, may argue that it's hard to keep up with the workload and the huge commitment that is required to work for Elon. Secondly, entrepreneurial leaders should have an interpretation of the opportunities so leaders can transmit the value of an opportunity to general goals of an organization. Elon Musk has clearly transmitted his vision on sending life to Mars, and even though this may sound like science fiction, SpaceX grew rapidly from 160 employees in 2008 to 7,000 employees in 2017. He informed his followers about the potential benefits of this disruptive innovation, and he succeeded. Also, Entrepreneurial leaders should protect the innovation threatening the current business model. Entrepreneurial leaders transmit the value of an opportunity to general goals of an organization or a person benefiting from the opportunity. In Elon Musk's main project, SpaceX takes on the space launches in industry. In this case, the telecommunications industry could be disrupted by offering lower price services worldwide, and the satellite industry could be disrupted by putting more satellites into space for cheaper. SpaceX plans to build like a freeway to Mars by reducing the cost of flying a space shuttle to a fraction of what it is today, and to harness rocket technology for space travel. Innovative leaders like Elon Musk think long term, and they are not afraid of taking risks for a common good, which is the essence of entrepreneurship. Moreover, entrepreneurial leaders question the current business logic. These type of leaders are constantly questioning the unknown to determine the new value-creating opportunities and to ensure the organization is positioned in a successful way. Elon Musk has communicated the importance of failure as a step for growth. Then, entrepreneurial leaders review the simple questions. They review the questions about identification of the opportunities and employment of the resources needed to sustain the life of the organization in a continuous manner. Lastly, entrepreneurial leaders associate entrepreneurship with strategic management. They believe an organization should have the skills of entrepreneurship strategically in order to create the highest value.
Wow, that's very interesting characteristics and example. Now, let's continue to see what kind of characteristics the Young Entrepreneur Council suggests for entrepreneur leaders. For example, humility. Now, every leader should be humble, right? However, some scholars like Bandura regard that it can be difficult for a leader to be humble while having self-confidence and boldness. Therefore, leaders must find that right balance. So they have to be very cautious not being regarded as arrogant, because who wants to follow an arrogant person, right? Now, according to the Bold Business magazine, Elon was seen reproaching analysts for being uneducated and arrogant. Now, these comments from Elon, being a leader, an example from his followers, can lead to a bad reputation, and can actually this make the followers can have a lack of respect for him.
Elon Musk is a hardworking innovator. However, according to Barry Underwick from the Media magazine, he commented last year that Elon Musk seems to be doing everything himself. Unfortunately, his decision to do so displays a fundamental misunderstanding of what leadership means. No one can do everything at a company. A great leader delegates tasks to employees. A leadership should have ownership and integrity. Elon Musk is transparent about the highs and lows. However, according to a statement made by Elon's brother to the New York Times, the reason why Elon seems to attract drama is that he is so transparent, so open, in a way that can come back to bite him. And he added, he doesn't know how to do it differently, it's just who he is. This is why Musk will remain disruptive and controversial, because he is upsetting the natural order of things. Some investors may not want to trust in him because he is willing to sacrifice profit for achieving these greater goals. Some scholars like Greenleaf describe this behavior with the concept of servant leadership, where the leader gives up his own personal interests for the common good. He has committed himself to the social responsibility of humanity to solve current issues through innovation. Lastly, positivity. An entrepreneurial leader, Musk took a risk by launching rockets to space for the fourth time, considering the first 3 launches failed, and the company was at the verge for filing for bankruptcy. This created doubt for many investors, yet they decided to still believe in Musk's vision.
Right. However, Musk believed in his vision and made his followers and investors believe in him, even during the crisis. So Musk really handled this situation appropriately, because if he had shown lack of optimism, they probably hadn't been successful with the 4th launch. Imagine the pressure that Elon Musk must have been in. This can also be observed in the online speeches he has given to his employees and the public about all this positive personality. Now, these are very important set of characteristics and examples that an entrepreneurship leader should have. However, now according to the psychodynamic approach, leaders like Elon also can be put in the category of the builder leader. Now, the builder has a need for independence and to be in control. They also have the talent to make their dreams come true because they possess an enormous amount of energy, drive, and enterprise. Builders are considered to be creative, decisive, single-minded, and persevering, and have a great capacity to deal with setbacks. As we have seen in several examples during Elon's career after facing the economic recession and failed launches in SpaceX. Builders have to be at the center of things. However, they tend to have great difficulties with delegation, as we have seen. Although a builder's leadership can be inspirational, poor communication and a culture of domination and control can contribute to dysfunctional decision-making. Builders need others, such as processors or coaches, to be their partners. Now, we see all these examples of Elon as a CEO. However, if Elon was an employee or a follower of a certain CEO or leader, probably he will fall in the category of the innovator according to the psychodynamic approach. The innovator is recognized by being extremely curious, wanting to learn more about everything that grabs their attention. Their passion for learning new things and their insatiable search for knowledge can be a source of inspiration to others. Innovators are the most reluctant of all the leadership archetypes to do things in a particular way because this is how things has always been done. So because of this innovative mindset, they can bring fresh, new approaches to their organization. It started in the childhood, like Elon Musk. Innovators tend to be introverts, stimulated by thoughts and ideas rather than people and things. In an interview conducted 2 years ago, Elon Musk's mother commented that he was called a nerd because he loved proving people wrong. Moreover, innovators' driven a way of working means that they have trouble conforming to organizational norms and may be treated as outsiders. In going their own way, they might lose sight of the financial realities and limitations, thus endangering the viability of the organization. Now, the psychodynamic approach defends the idea that psychological, social, and emotional processes between leaders and followers have a great influence and need to be taken into consideration. However, some of its criticisms is that the main focus is to increase an individual's self-awareness in order to find better ways to behave personally. Therefore, the standard solution makes it difficult to provide a specific guidelines for systematic change applied to different individuals.
To conclude this episode, we have learned that the term leadership has different approaches depending on the context and environment. We have realized how different leadership theories can be applied to a single person's career, and that nowadays, leaders who emerge in society tend to be regarded as creative, risk-takers, and entrepreneurs who influence other people. In the next episode, we will discuss more in depth about the future of leadership. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to tune in next week.